Okay, so hello everyone. This shiur is going to be in Ilui Nishama shel Yoli bat Rachel and Miriam bat Rachel, and I dedicated all my classes to the Aliyah of Neshama of my father who passed away, Shmuel Sami ben Mercedes, and I'm very excited to be here, and I'm very, it's a big zchut for me because passing on the knowledge and the wisdom and sharing from one heart to another in chavruta of women is always something that is heart opening, and I cherish those little moments. I don't take them for granted. I think that there's magic that is happening when we come together, and the more the merrier. So please pass it forward to your friends, to your family, to whoever can benefit from it. I'll tell you a little bit about me so you know where I'm coming from, and then we're going to go into the class. So I used to bring all these shows, and I did magnificent events. I had the zchut to do Shlomo Artzi at Madison Square Garden, 5,000 people, huge production. Who is that? Is the most famous singer in Israel. What's his name? Shlomo Artzi. Together with him event? I produced the event at Madison Square Garden. But the thing is that everything like that, I was touching and growing up in levels and achieving more and more, but something inside was still missing. And when Corona came, my business shut down and I had to surrender again. And that's when I started to keep technological Shabbats, and I disconnected for 25 hours of all the machshirim, all the electronics, if it's my phone, my computer and everything, for only 25 hours. And what happened is when I disconnected, I actually connected to myself. And when you connect to yourself, you actually connect higher to Hashem, to God, to the universe, to whatever you call it. And that allowed me to really receive more knowledge from within. So here, I'm not coming to coach you on anything. I'm just here to show you a way to get more in tune with yourself, because all the answers are actually within you, okay? What most of the people do, they go to psychologists so they can solve their problem. And I used to go and I used to do that as one that has a master in psychology. I had to do my training. And what happened is that I was always around the situation, around the problem. But talking about the problem just expand it. So I realized that when you take a problem and you see it from above, okay, and you look at it from a bat mime'al, and you're not concentrating on the problem, but you're actually concentrating on the solution, then your consciousness actually derive from what you need to really focus on, because you're not getting into the emotions and the drama of the situation and what's happening and all that, but you're trying to get above it and see what is that why did that problem came my way, why am I actually have to experience that, what is the message behind it, in a very detached or observant way, so I can learn how to really approach it without emotions, but with regard from above. And when I look at things from above, it's the view, when you're not here, but you hear, the view is actually smaller. So you are you're able to actually make sure that you minimize the problem, or you can actually, if you go around and around and you lash it on all day long, you actually expand it. So we're gonna write the question. We're gonna leave it at the end because I'm on a flow. And so now the thing is that just to touch on all the eclectic methods that we're gonna bring. So Yemima spoke a lot. She had like מושגי יסוד. מושגי יסוד is like specific words that she was teaching around them, and when she was elaborating and reading those texts that we're going to touch on also, we're going to write them down. Why do we write them down? Because when you actually do the action, today we're all typing, and typing is not the real thing. Did you ever imagine, like when you have to write down, it's like getting harder for you to do it because you're so used of typing. When you write down something, what happens is that you release some sort of keasim or matzburim or things that are piling up on you through your hand. Okay, usually it's pile up in your evarim, in your organs in your body, so they go out from your hand and you release them through the writing. And when you write it down, there is some sort of releasing of energy, okay, of thoughts. So when we also write it down, we don't have to, we feel it with our neshama, okay? We're not we're not too much in the mind, and that's the thing. How, because most of us today are analyzing too much with the mind. The thing is that we have three brains. One is the mind, we have a brain in our heart, and we have a brain in our sacral. So יש מוח בלב, יש מוח בלב. We don't know it, we're not aware of it, but we have our heart has a brain of its own. He's functioning on his own, but we're so occupied here that sometimes we forget to actually listen to the heart, okay? We have a brain in our intestines when we have biotic cool, when we have problems of how do you say cool? Digestions, thank you, help me out here. And then and that also has, and that's seriously, like all the doctors are talking about it, that the guts, yes, and that's why we say guts feeling, because when you're not listening to your guts feeling, it has your own brain, you know, you have to actually go and there is something, you feel it, but your mind is taking over and doesn't let you actually go with your gut feeling. And there's also a brain in your sacral area, okay? That's where you actually, it's related to the sex, to the root chakra and your sacral pelvis. And that's where you, as women, we receive a lot of light there. That's how we connect. That's how we keep it sacred with our partners. And that's how we also orgasm, which a lot of people are scared to talk about it. And this is basically connect me to the Tantra, which Tantra is usually connected to very deep breathing. Why? Because when you breathe, you're able to be more present and being in the moment. So it's related to sex, because when you're not like acting as a machine and you're just being more present with your partner and you take a deep breath, you're able to enjoy more the moment and have some more blood flow into your body to reach a higher orgasm within yourself. And what is an orgasm? It's to connect between the two souls and reach a sacred place. And they say that's the highest point that you can ever reach above, to Elohim, to Hashem. That's how that's the real connection. Sacred intimacy with your one partner is the most powerful thing, that when two souls, a male and a woman, a male and female, connect, that's when they become shalem, because the man is the giver, the woman is the receiver. And when they do that from a very pure place, this is the most beautiful highlight, connection, powerful place that can take you to really melt into unity, into achdut. Okay, and that's the tikkun, that's the real tikkun. Because when Adam וחווה היו בגן עדן, ואדם בעצם told חווה, or told God, she told me to eat from Etz Hadat, he didn't take responsibility. He passed it on to his wife. And the tikkun ha'amiti is basically in our relationship, that the woman is coming metukenet, and she is responsible to לתקן את הגבר, and that's why he has a lot of midot. The woman has only 3, okay? She needs to keep nida, bake challah, and light the candles. The man has to pray and go and wake up in the morning and baboker, and to do a lot of stuff. And the thing at the end of the day is how you keep a sacred relationship in your zugiyut, in your couple. It's not with you, because there's a lot of code of behavior that are written in the Torah that we dismiss and we're not listening to. But the moment we are in tune with them and you learn them, it's everything is al mekomo, everything is standing in its place, okay? And when you regard them not with scarcity, okay, but with an open heart, in a way to help you guide, like a manual, okay, a manual to a spiritual life, because spirituality is the most is what really leads our life, and we forgot about it. It used to be back in the days 2000 years ago, all our life used to be mainly spiritual. We lost it. We become very much materialistic. So by today acknowledging that it's not either or, but it's both of them together, and to learn how to do that combination of materialism and spirituality, it's a win-win. And that's with everything. It doesn't have to be or. It's gam vegam, but from a pure place, not from te'ava, not from a big eye, not from modesty, from understanding, from generosity, from simplicity. Okay, so this is how I combine the Yemima teaching and the Tantra and the psychology all together, and I bring it from within my soul to you in a method that is called the heart wisdom. Okay, and the heart wisdom is to learn together b'chavruta how to connect between my mind and my heart together in order to be more in tune with the obstacles and crises of my life, and understanding how to cope with them in a more spiritual way, because it's a muscle. When you train that muscle, it actually starts to become, you become more conscious. And the more you're conscious, the more you're able to cope with every challenge in your life from a place of less anger, less metuskal, resentment, okay? From a place of acceptance, and obviously of self-love, because your external world is a reflection of your internal world. Everything that is happening to you outside, okay, is a reflection of your internal world. That means that your consciousness, the way you create your story in your head, is actually reflecting back into outside the world. That means if something is happening to you, there is a message there for you. You have to stop for a second and understand, what is that coming to teach me? And that's consciousness. When you're not reacting as an automat, okay, but you're actually pausing, you're observing, you thinking, okay, and you're conscious about what is happening here, what is in the trail of my journey, and you're trying to give it meaning, because without meaning your life is empty, which is also a good place to bring yourself to empty and meaningless, because then from that point you can also create. Okay, so far the teaching is really being aware also of our thoughts. Okay, why our thoughts are basically, we have thousands of thoughts in our mind, and whatever we hang on, that's the one that's going to lead our life. So that's why I don't want to be reacting to my thoughts. I want to be creating my thoughts. So that's awareness, that's consciousness. Okay, so when I'm choosing my thoughts, then it's affecting my word, it's affecting my dibur, the way I speak, because I know that it has to, I'm very conscious about what I'm saying. And the way I talk, the way I speak is affecting my behavior, because what I think goes through what I talk, and it's showing up in my life, in my actions, my behavior. So it starts here. So whenever I'm connecting this with this, and I'm leading myself to do things that are in tune with my passion, my interests, then I am able to be in my element and fulfill my ye'ud, my purpose in life. Otherwise, I'm just a machine waking up from 9 to 5 and working like an automat, reacting to life. Or reacting to situation, or reacting to other people telling me how to do, what to listen to, and how to behave. Especially you can find it in the news. This is a brainwash. So I stop watching TV. And I'm not willing to let anyone tell me what to think, how to think, what to see, what you see, all the violence that you see. You go on the highway and you see call here for car accident. What do you think they do? This is just פרסומת סמויה. This is just, it's getting into your eyes, into your thoughts. And why do you think there's so many accidents happening? We're not even realizing that. We're not even conscious of that. Every little sign has a message for you. And the question is how you're observing that. What are you choosing to watch? What are you choosing to see? What are you observing? What are you letting penetrate into your teudat, your resonance, okay? It's like that's why it's so important to keep on the pure מחשבה טהורה. Lama, because everything else is distracting you from being in your element. Okay, so now we all חלקיק של אלוהי, we are like איך אומרים חלקיק? We're part of light that is connected to God. So the more you in tune with that, the more you behave like that, the more you resonate, the more you shine your lights on other people. Okay? The thing is that to really connect to it. How do I connect? I come, I study, and I do it all the time because I'm conscious. That makes me conscious. 101 is to actually being able to take time and invest in myself. What is self-love? What is self-love? Is to be conscious of the way I'm being, of my thoughts, of waking up in the morning and doing something good for myself, for my health, for my neshama. My neshama, when I'm touching on those Kabbalistic texts, she recognizes it, okay? I get goosebumps every time I read a sentence here because it's touching on so many levels that after that, it's helping me when it's a prime moment. When you wake up in the morning and you study, it's a prime moment for you to start your day. It's like going to the gym. When you put that and the gym together with the study, with a podcast or with something like that, and it's a prime moment because compare a day that you do that to a day that you don't do that. Would it be the same journey? Obviously not. You're getting so much inspiration that you can feel that you wake up and you can conquer the world. So now, to touch a little bit on the wording and the nuance of that Yemima spoke about them, she was talking about diuk. Diuk, it's how to be precise, how to really like knowing and not like being amitit, being truthful, to look at things and being like precise on how it serves you without fooling yourself, without giving yourself any credit, but being on like right on, okay? And there is so many ways for us that we can go left or right, but being precise is a diuk kazeh, that value is when you precise with yourself, you start being precise in your relationship, okay? You start being precise at work or with your children or whatever it is, okay? So it's helping you really build a more accurate life for yourself. Another one is omes. Omes is when you have a lot of luggage, you know, you're taking on yourself a lot of burden. And when you walk and you have that burden on yourself, you're not able to, you accumulating a lot of shchavot. Shchavot, it's piling up a lot of layers. Klipot, biduk. And those layers are making you more obscure in a way that you're not able to really see clear. So the more omes you have, the more layers you're piling up, the less conscious you can be. So sometimes we take the omes that doesn't belong to us, we take it on ourselves. And the thing is that how to know to understand and differ between omes that is ours, omes that it's other people, or omes that it's from the Yalda Ktana. What is a Yalda Ktana? It's the little girl. When we recognize and we differ between the little girl and the lomedet is the learner. She is actually learning how to become more conscious. The little girl is acting as the one who was deprived, who was not, we didn't listen to her, we didn't see her enough, we didn't love her enough. So when you start differing between, am I now reacting or acting from the little girl or from the lomedet, from the learner, okay? That's a different state of mind, right? When you come to a place that you're conscious, and I love that you yamming, it's because it's your soul is actually in tune with everything that we're talking about. That's like a very phase of meditation, okay? And that's where all what we're talking about is penetrating to your soul and is actually absorbing. You're absorbing everything we're saying right now. It's amazing. So that's what happened when we actually go into deep hypnosis. We get into the realm of being able to dream. When we reach the REM phase, that means that we are there, we're able to do the much work that we can. That's why meditation is very recommended, because you manage to go into a very deep state of mind that allow you to connect more with your neshama, okay? Because every night when we go to sleep, we literally disconnect from our body, right? We elevate, and that's where we met all our soul family to actually, this is the upper world, is the real world, okay? Here we're just coming to exercise and to make our tikkun. That's when you touch a body that is sleeping, it feels like a dead person because his neshama is not connected. So when you're aware of that you have a neshama that is living inside of you, then you take things in a different way. you act on a different level because you know that you have chosen this journey before you came here. You've chosen to go through everything that is actually on your pathway. So when you're aware of that, you're like, just bring it on. You know, I have a challenge. It's okay. I chose it. Bring it on. You become more responsible. When you're responsible for it, you לוקח אחריות. When you become responsible, you don't resist it. You accept it with a lot of emunah, a lot of faith, and then you're able to לגבור. מה זה לגבור? גבורה. You're able to admit and to take it on and get over it with much more faith, right? Than being the korban, than being the victim. Oh, they did it to me. What's happening to me? It's all because of him. Why am I in a situation like that and all that? You understand? And then you're blaming other people. What happened when you blame other people? You point two fingers at others. But what happened? You have three fingers pointed at you. Where is the Kabbalat Achayut? This is your responsibility. Everything in your life is basically your responsibility. The more you're in tune with that, the more you understand it, the more you're empowered to take into your hands your journey and act on it, okay? Because you're not coming from a victimized point of view. She also talked about tichum ve'afradat sadot. Tichum and afradat sadot, tichum is to know how to put everything in its place, to label everything. Why? Because sometimes we mix the sadot, we mix the spaces. Like there's a personal space that nobody can actually, is not allowed to get in unless I give him permission or her, okay? It's energy fields. So if we mix up energy fields with everyone, we're not pure anymore. That's why nida is so important. Okay, that's nida, to keep nida. There is a reason why, for example, you're not allowed to have intercourse with your partner when you're bleeding, because you have to keep on your clean energy space for yourself, for other. Okay, you always have to come from a purity state of mind. The more you know your space, the more you're aware of your energetic spots, the more you're in tune with yourself, the more you can orgasm into life, okay? Sexually, healthy, mentally, in all level possible. Because the more you're connected to yourself, the more you shine from within, and the more you take responsibility also. So that's why Afradat Sadot is so important, because everything is al mekomo, everything is on its place. Okay, and then when you have Afradat Sadot, you're able to label everything and to know, you're more conscious about what's coming up, what's going on. So now we have, wow, it's already, okay. So we're gonna take 10 minutes to do a little pasuk, okay? So you understand what it is about, and then I'll give you questions for you to write down, and then we'll open up for questions, okay? So I'm gonna say it in Hebrew and I'm gonna translate it in English. And when I dictate it, if you have a question, don't ask it, just stay with it, resonate with it inside of you, okay? Even if it doesn't make sense. And most probably it's not gonna make sense because it's a translation from Hebrew to English, but that's why it's, for those who speak Hebrew, it's important I say it in Hebrew first, so then it can resonate better for you after that in English, okay? So it's really a little pasuk. הלומדת תבדוק, and you can write it down in Hebrew or in English, whatever is easier for you. When I say it in English, you can write it down. הלומדת תבדוק את הדיוק של הלב. So the learner will check the precisity of her heart. נאמר שכל מחסיר סותר את הלב. They say that everyone who is lacking something is in contrast with his heart. פסיק, לא מאפשר את פתיחותו ממידתו, and is not allowing its openness from his מידתו, how do you say מידה? מידה. From his value. מאפשר את פתיחותו from his value, like allowing his openness from his own value. זאת אומרת, אם תדייקי, that means that if you'll be precise, כי הבנת שאת משתתפת בעצמך, because you understood that you are participating within yourself, בתיקונך, within your תיקון, כמשחררת את עצמך מהמרכיב העיקרי, from one who released herself from the main מרכיב is from the main component שאת אוחזת שנים רבות, that you're holding on to for many years, ונטוע בלב פסיק חוסם, and is implanted into your heart, comma, it's blocking, it's a blockage, חוסם. that, נקודה. ויש לפרוץ את המרכיב מתוך הבנה. And you have to לפרוץ, you have to hold on. You have to, how do you say לפרוץ? To break out. You have to break it out, okay? You have to break out that component from within the understanding, ואז המהות חוזרת למקומה, and then your being, your essence, is coming back to itself. So now that we're gonna read it straightforward, it's gonna make a little bit more sense. I'm gonna read it in Hebrew, and then Lilian, you're gonna read it in English for us, okay? One shot. So, הלומדת תבדוק את הדיוק של הלב. נאמר שכל מחסיר סותר את הלב, לא מאפשר את פתיחותו ממידתו. זאת אומרת, אם תדייקי, כי הבנת שאת משתתפת בעצמך, בתיקונך, כמשחררת את עצמך מהמרכיב העיקרי, שאת אוחזת שנים רבות ונטוע בלב חסום. ויש לפרוץ את המרכיב מתוך הבנה, אז המהות חוזרת למקומה. ליליאן, go for it.
The learner will check the plasticity of her heart. They say that everyone who's lacking something is in contrast with his heart and is not allowing his openness from his value or from his own value. That means that if you will be precise, because you understand you are participating with your tikkun, from one who releases herself from the main component that you're holding onto your many years, and it is implanted into your heart is blocking. I don't know if it's good. Okay. I'm not Tantra. And you have to break it out that component from within the understanding, and then you bring your essence coming out.
Okay.
It's a real translation.
So the beauty of Yemima, what's beautiful about it is that it's the same words, but everyone can understand something different. So now our melacha, our work is to actually, each of us for yourself, write down where did that sentence touch her? What did she learn from it? Write it down for yourself without thinking about it. Just write it down intuitively.
Like I can't understand what you mean. I'm getting a little confused.
Even if so, say I can't understand what she means. Just write down that. Even if there is one word that touched you, that resonates to you, okay? Then write it down and with for yourself and say what it made you feel at the same moment.
What's the source of this? Where are you reading it from?
Oh, from all the studies that I did.
But this one, the paragraph that we just read.
That's Yemima.
Yemima?
Yemima. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes and then I'm going to start elaborating on what I get from it. And then I'm going to open it for you to share what you get from it, okay? So, הלומדת תבדוק את הדיוק של הלב. When you actually go into the study, you more and more learn and in tune how to be precise with your own heart, okay? Because everyone who is actually going against his heart is not allowing the heart to open up, okay, from actually giving you all the answers that are within you, okay? When you have a closed heart, you're not allowing the light to come with it, to come inside. When you learn step by step how to open up your heart, first of all with yourself and then with other people, because we're always like trying to protect ourselves from not getting hurt again, then it's opening up step by step, and the more you opening, the more you in tune and precise with the thing from within yourself. So the more you're gonna do these studies and this learning, okay, that's more the more you're engaging with yourself. Why? Because you're more interested in yourself, because you're coming to learn, you're coming to inquire, to get a meaning for everything that is going on. And then your conscious is going higher into your tikkun. Then you start understanding why you're here, okay? What's your purpose? How is your tikkun is coming to place? I know that I used to do terrible things in my past, and since I had my spiritual awakening, I start really letaken. I start within my midot to go higher and higher between me and myself, of what I'm expecting from myself in my life, if it's in thought, words, and action. And then the more I'm participating within myself, so the more I'm releasing, okay, I'm releasing it, the component, all these blockages that actually pile up throughout all these years, okay, and were inside my heart in resentments and actually closed on it, that created blockages. So what is the studying doing for us? It's helping us release those blockages and feel more exactly that. You just deep breath, you take a deep breath. When you take a breath, you connect more to yourself, because releasing another layer. Okay? And then, when is it happening? From the understanding, Havana, okay, that you break out, when you break out, and then you understand that your essence, your neshama, is coming back to its place. So when you actually learning, through the learning, your neshama is reactifying itself. Okay? So now, that was for me. I'm gonna close here because I want to keep your shitufim, your shares private. Thank you for everyone who watched and was with us. And we're gonna be here next Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And I really hope for you to join us.